always been really into modernism and into particularly late 60s, early 70s sort of space age modernist design, like people like Joe Colombo and other Werner Panton. These are people that design very futuristic worlds, not just an individual piece of furniture. And for me, this car and other cars like it from that era, they really fit into that whole aesthetic of the space age and of the kind of boundless possibility of that time. That was really what attracted me to these Bertone wedge cars. This particular car is actually a 2-liter engine. The 308 GT4 is the more well-known version of the car, which has a 3-liter engine, and basically for the Italian market they debored it to 2 liters to avoid a tax on cars over 2 liters. So this particular example was made specifically for the Italian market, and as a result the 2-liter engine is not terribly fast, but it sounds actually a little sweeter, and it's a very satisfying V8 engine note, a very small V8 engine note. It really takes corners beautifully. It's very neutral. It has a little bit of understeer at the entry of a corner, but then once it hooks up, it really you can really feel it gripping laterally as you go through the corner, and it's very confidence inspiring. So it's a very entertaining car to drive, and it's very modern considering it's from 1976. It still soaks up bumps on the highway if you're just going over a rough pavement. It's very supple, very refined ride for a car that's this old. Another thing I love about this car is the interior, particularly the instrument cluster, is really one of the coolest instrument clusters, not only of any Ferrari, but I think of any car of the era. There's this very wide fascia in front of you that kind of wraps around you, and it's a very cool place to sit. And it surrounds you, and then each instrument has this little chrome ring around it, and it's just a really nicely executed instrument panel. I wanted something that really was like stepping into that other era, stepping into another time period, and I guess in a way it was sort of like the beginning of the Italian Job, when you have this Italian mafioso guy and he's smoking a cigarette and he's driving with his sunglasses in the Alps, and I've always loved that scene, and it just somehow really strikes a chord with me, and I guess I wanted to kind of be able to feel that way when I wanted to. I wanted to escape into that feeling when I had the chance to. As these types of cars go, as a supercar of the 70s goes, these are very practical to own and much cheaper to maintain than other cars of that ilk. Well, to own this car in New York City, I generally avoid taking it into the city, first of all. I deliberately keep it out here where I can immediately go and play with it. I drive out of the city in another car in order to play with this car, which it's kind of perverse, I know, but I mean, I didn't buy this car really to show it off in the city or to cruise around Manhattan in it. I'd have no interest in that. I really bought it so that I could go on the open road and enjoy it, and enjoy the scenery, and that's what I do with it. I'd like to hold on to the car for quite a while. I don't have any particular plans to keep it forever or to sell it, or I just want to enjoy it and see where things go. There's a lot of cars out there that I'd love to own someday, but I can honestly say I'm incredibly happy with this car, and when I go to meetups and other car club kind of events, I'm always really happy to drive home in my car and not feel oh, I wish I had that guy's car. I always feel really happy with what I have.